Humans of the cardboard, welcome back to Just Nuts, guys. Today we need to cover two big pieces of news. We'll do two of the pieces in this video, well, like the first pieces of in this video, and then we'll do the other one in a whole separate video. Today we're talking about a brand new Val Monica card, as well as a brand new sort of like it's like a mermail slash Fire King support card, which we'll get to. They got revealed yesterday morning. The Val Monica card revealed this morning. Let's get into it. It's archetypal support. A lot of people like Val Monica, but I've never been able to get into it. I just don't think they're good enough. I think they seem not. They just seem clunky to me every time I've seen them brought up to me. When I read through the cards, I'm like, these cards they're not it. How are you getting this stuff to resolve through interaction? I just don't believe it. But let's get into it. Starting off here, this is Val Monica Hereditaire. Who cares? The artwork looks cool, honestly. Like, there's like this swirling pond of them looking at someone's future or what's going on with them, and then it's the two girls that sit on the shoulder, the evil girl and the nice girl, and then it's cool. I actually like the artwork on this one. I don't even like most of the Val Monica artwork, but this one's cool. It is a counter trap. You can only use the first and second effects of this counter trap once per turn, and only once that turn, which means you cannot do both in the same turn. So you can do the main effect once, and then the next turn you have to save the other effect. First effect reads, when a spell, trap card, or monster effect is activated and you control a Val Monica Link monster, negate the activation, and if you do, destroy that card. It's an Omni. Omnis are strong, especially in counter trap form, because really helps protect you from board breakers really nicely. Yeah, and even the stuff like Dark Ruler and Droplet that normally you can't respond to, this card just mops up pretty easily. It's a good interruption. Second effect, you can banish this card from your graveyard to shuffle Val Monica cards from your graveyard, banishment, and or face-up extra deck into the deck up to the number of resonance counters on your field, except for another copy of itself. Then you can draw one card for every 3 cards shuffled. So this is actually a pretty good follow-up piece as well. I would assume if you're resolving your full Val Monica combo, you should hopefully be able to draw 2 cards off of this. 3 maybe seems a little lofty. I mean, although to be fair, they don't say that they have to be with different names. They just can't be other copies of this trap card. So this could theoretically, even if you start to play on the next turn and get even more names in rotation, you could potentially draw 3 by shuffling 9. It's a good follow-up card in terms of getting you draws and putting stuff back. So if you play certain one-ofs, you're able to reset those and get those back in rotation, so you can use them again if you need to. It's a solid card. My, I guess, biggest gripe with this card, and it's not even that big of a gripe, but it's that you have to control a Val Monica Link monster. And as a lot of you have probably seen from when I talk about this archetype, one of my gripes with this whole archetype is that, it's all based around you getting to the Link monsters. Your deck really doesn't do much until you get to the Link monsters, yet getting to the Link monsters kind of takes quite a few steps. They are Link ones that take actually way more steps than normal Link ones do. But sure, listen, this is not a card that changes that much for me in terms of how I view this archetype. It's a nice little piece. If I did think this deck lost to board breakers way too easily, this card does help with that a good bit and extra follow-up, but it doesn't help with the core problem that it's been my biggest problem with the archetype, which is it's based around getting to these links, but you have to, and it's not even supposed to summon that much, really. But they just can't even get to the links that easily. And so if your opponent can just keep you off of resonance counters or whatever, you're really in tough shape. So, all right, next up we move to the second card here. This is the card that's cool, Atlantean slash Fire King lore. This is called Surging Clash on Blazing Seas. What a cool name. It's a normal spell card. Let me zoom in here on the other device here. The artwork on this is sick, right? You have the new 3-headed Poseidra dragon matching up against the newer it came out this time last year in the OCG. Fire King, rank 8, the big boss monster. and they're just clashing in the middle of this card. It looks sick. Half of it's yellow exploding fire, and the other one is like has like a water tidal wave with both the boss monsters meeting in the middle. It's really cool. But yeah, as far as the card goes, normal spell, you can only activate both of its effects once per turn each. The first effect reads, activate one of these effects. So it has two effects. The first effect is going to give you an option. Pick one of the two. The first effect you can pick is discard a water monster to the graveyard. Then target one face-up monster your opponent controls, destroy it. That is discarding as cost. So it's discard and target and then just pop. That's not a terrible effect. It is a normal spell card, not a quick play. So it takes a lot of utility out of this card. So it's just popping one and you have to give up 2 cards from hand to do it. I don't know about that. Second effect says destroy one fire monster in your hand. Then you can draw 1 card. Again, like this is that's okay actually. That's a little bit better I think for the Fire King deck than the Mermail deck, just because a lot of the Fire King monsters, they float when they're destroyed by card effect. So sure, they're replacing themselves ideally, and then this card's replacing itself. But even in those scenarios, you're still going like 2 for 2. It's not like out of this world good or anything, but it's fine. If it said like destroy a fire monster from deck, then draw 1 card, now we are cooking. That would actually be so strong. But I understand why they didn't make it do that. And then the second effect, if only your opponent controls a monster, but not you, you can banish this card from the graveyard, then target 1 level 7 or 8 water or fire monster in grave, special summon it. Yeah, I mean, I just don't see too many. I mean, I guess the cool thing is you can use both of these effects in the same turn. So theoretically, without even committing to the board, you can use the first effect on these cards. Specifically, the water one makes a little more sense here to like try and break into a board. You discard a water monster to pop a monster, right? Trying to break into a board. And then if you discard at a level 7 or 8 water to do it, you can then immediately go, oh, you still have a monster on field. I don't yet. I'm going to banish this to reborn the water that I just pitched. Boom. It could be one of your mermails that are level 7, or I don't know. It could even be like the deep sea coelacanth. I know a lot of people have been talking about that with the new support being insane. Something, and then cool, you kind of get a free body back on field. That makes this card a little bit better in that scenario. I don't know if it's as good in Fire King though, because if you're destroying a fire in hand, ideally it's a Fire King that floats, which could potentially be putting another Fire King on board. So, you know what I mean? Not leaving you with no monsters on field, which makes this card a little bit more clunky for them, I would think. But still. At the end of the day, this is a card that is, I believe, unsearchable for both archetypes. So I'm not too crazy about it. It's not strong enough as an unsearchable spell card that's like mainly designed to go second for what it appears. It's just not there for me. It's fun. I like that it ties the lore in, especially since Fire Kings have really been really solid for the past year and came from the year of fire. And now this is we're kind of leaning into maybe the year of water. You know, I like them tying together with a cool like lore card like this, but I don't think, you know, playability wise, it's going to end up seeing much play. So there you go. Those are the 2 new cards. I think we still have 9 or 10 more cards to go, going through the rest. And I think there's still archetypal slots. I think there's 2 main deck archetypal monster slots potentially. So, you know, we could get more stuff, or there could be more like random cards that are just good that we get down the stretch here. I'll keep you posted on anything new there. But yeah, thanks for staying tuned. Subscribe to the channel if you want to stay up to date on all things Yu-Gi-Oh! News. I cover everything as soon as I can when it drops. And also stay tuned because I have another video coming out right after this one talking about the other really cool thing revealed being the Terminal World 2 officially announced. We've talked about that, whether or not they were going to do it, and they have officially announced it. So we've got some stuff to talk about there as well. But I'm out of here. Thank you so much for watching. As always, guys, I'll see you in the next one. Peace.